Hi, good evening, everybody. This is Darren Campbell with Complete Sports Media. I'm your host. We're going to be breaking down some PGA today, and we're going to get our resident analyst, Casey O'Donnell, logging in any second here and giving us some great analysis. So, pretty excited, and I can see, Casey's about to join us here. So, thanks for tuning in for another breakdown. It was a fantastic tournament this past weekend with the Memorial and Jack Nicklaus's place, and John Rahm ended up taking the victory. So it'll be fun. It'll be a great listen and watch of this breakdown. So hey, I see Casey. Casey, thanks so much for joining me.
Hey Darren, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Really good. Yeah, it's been a busy Monday. Always so much sports on the weekend that takes a while to break it all down. But I'm really looking forward to this golf breakdown. That was a exciting tournament as usual. Memorial, John Rahm with a huge win to take over #1 in the world. What are your thoughts initially?
Yeah, it was a great tournament. Rahm becoming #1, just great to see. Played very steady through the tournament. Won by 3. It was a great tournament. Conditions were very tough the first and the last day, and even when conditions were good, the scores were high. So it was a great tournament.
You and I have talked quite a bit in the past few weeks, and one of the things that was really unique about this week was it was back-to-back weeks at the same course, and hadn't happened in 63 years, and was a lot of talk about the changes of the course. They were going to make it easier the first week and harder the second week, and I cannot believe how much they could change the course to, go from a 19 under winning score to a 9 under winning score. It was really tough, especially on Sunday. Guys were shooting mid to high 70s, even into the 80s. It looked brutal out there.
Yeah, it was tough conditions for sure. There was 21 rounds, 80 or more over the week, and 10 of them were on the weekend. So even when conditions were good, the guys were still having a tough time around there. The way they set it up with those firm, fast greens and the fairways running out like that, it was a very tough challenge.
Yeah. It hadn't been something that we've seen in that long. So I really didn't realize that they could make it that much difference. They talked about making the greens faster and the rough deeper, that type of thing. But it just really, really wreaked havoc. They were talking about, I think after the third round, they were 522 over par, and just it was just amazing, the difference in the course, and it really, really showed on Sunday. Guys were not shooting below par. The only guy that I see on the top 10 is Fitzpatrick. He shot a 4 under, and he just leaped way up the leaderboard and was able to overtake a lot of golfers with that. He had bones on his bag, and obviously they found something that worked for them.
Yeah, the next closest player was 2 under, Xander Schauffele, and Fitzpatrick had a go, and that was a nice round he put on 68 in those tough conditions. Just the way that ball, you can hear it when it hits the green, like how firm it is, even when it was raining. It's tough to get it back into those pin positions they had.
Well, John Rahm, as we said, takes over #1 in the world. Only the second Spaniard after Seve Ballesteros to do it. John said that when he was about 13, 14 years old, somebody asked him what he wanted to do for his life and for his career, and he said, I want to be the #1 golfer in the world. And it took, 12 years, 11 years or something like that to make that goal come true. It's pretty remarkable. Great to hear that he called it and said that's what he wanted to do, and he achieved that goal. That's really neat.
Yeah, he's an amazing player. He gets very emotional out there, like Seve used to as well. But you play off that fire, right? He can play off that emotion. Chipping in on 16 like that was a beautiful chip, and being able to control that and getting to world #1 is very impressive at that young age.
Yeah. I guess he was let's see, third fastest in history for age. Well, Tiger did it once he started. It took him 290 days to take over #1. Spieth did it in 2 years, 245 days, and Rahm did it in 4 years, 27 days. Fifth youngest to ever reach number one. So many amazing accomplishments there that, there were so many stats that kept coming on. He's been a very consistent golfer over the past 4 years. He's got win each year, and there's only a few guys that can say that. He's been one of the guys that's knocking on the door. Rory Mcilroy overtaken for number one. You did mention the chip on 16. He got penalized 2 strokes for moving the ball when he grounded his stroke in the grass there. Sure glad it didn't come down to that. I'm glad he had the winning margin already wrapped up.
Yeah, that's the tough thing when the grass is so thick. He didn't even know till the end when they interviewed him that it had moved. He would have been looking at the pin or where he's going to land that ball and just dead focus. Barely sets his club down, doesn't really ground it like deep into the grass, and it moved. And that's how crazy the game can be. Kind of reminded me of DJ in 2010 at Weston Straits, where he grounded the club in the bunker, kind of not in his tent, didn't even affect the shot at all. And good thing it didn't come to costing him the tournament.
Yeah, that's one of the things that blows me away about golf is that there's a guy that can be sitting at home on his couch and see something in the coverage, call in and say, hey, there was a penalty there. And the PGA is going to check it out, look at the videotape. Then they're going to go and talk to the golfer and make sure he doesn't sign a illegal scorecard and assess penalties like that. No other sport in the history of man's ever had a guy from his couch be able to call a penalty on any other athlete. So, it's a pretty big shock that this can happen to guys. And it has changed the face of tournaments, but I'm glad it didn't with this one because Rahm was the best guy out there over the 4 days.
Oh, yeah, hands down. A lot of those people calling in, it's kind of unfair to the golfer, too. It didn't improve their game. It didn't improve anything. No one else saw it. So there's kind of that part of the game that gets a little frustrating. And I'm sure for those guys that cost them the tournament, it's just a heartbreaker.
Yeah, sure is. Well, he got an opportunity to walk off the 18th and fist bump Jack Nicklaus. Not a handshake this time. It was a fist bump. It's something that is very, very cherished by these guys. They talk about it all the time that they want to go to Memorial, they want to play, and then they want to shake Jack's hand. After Jack and Barbara announced on the coverage on Sunday that they both had COVID, I was pretty surprised that they had decided that he was going to still be there at 80 years old and he was going to shake his hand if he wanted to. Rahm chose to fist bump for whatever reason, but that added a lot of drama actually to that. That's moment that happens after every memorial.
Yeah, it was totally different. We're in a different time for sure. Great that they got it and pulled through. And they developed the antibodies, and a little interesting to see that he chose the fist bump, but you never know. You're caught up in the moment as well. You just won the Memorial Tournament and you step off. There's Jack, and a great tournament he played. Yeah.
I was surprised they kept that secret. I guess a few people knew, but they really had kept that out of the press. And they're both 80 years old. I think they're in good health, but 80 is definitely getting up there in age. And wow, it was a shock to me to hear that they had the COVID and but had pulled through, and they seem to be in good health. And I'm really happy. I hope there's a really long life for Jack Nicklaus because he's such an ambassador. He raises so much money for charity. They do so many great things for golf, and it came as quite a shock, but I'm really happy that they're healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they do so much for the game and so much for the world. It's nice to see that they're doing healthy. And Jack never stops working either. He's got all the courses he's working on, including Muirfield Village, where he's ripping up the greens on hole 6 as their final group is still out on the course. They're just teeing off 11. They got half the green ripped out, changing all the grass, changing everything. So constantly tweaking. It's amazing to see.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was super shocking that, they were already changing the course before before the final putt had even been put into the hole. It was like, And that was a neat thing about the coverage too. There was a lot of times where they were talking to Jack, and he was talking about the changes he planned to make because of the way he saw the guys playing the last couple of weeks. He wanted to bring a creek in. He wanted to move some bunkers back. He wanted to do some different tweaks to the course. And yeah, they were already on it before it was finished. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it's amazing to see. He wants to lengthen a few holes, change the tee decks, even change like locations of some of the greens, add the bunkers in where those players are carrying it to, and just really tighten up that course. But yeah, there's no rest with him.
No, not at all. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was an incredible show. And I hope this happens again. I don't know why they don't do this a little more. Maybe in the new COVID world, they'll want to play some courses back to back like this. Thought it was really, really fun, being able to see a course completely different from week to week. I think it added a nice element, and it might, reduce the possibility of spread of COVID if they can go into these bubbles and stay there for a couple of weeks at a time, and not as much travel on guys, not as much movement of all the camera crews and all the aspects of it. I think it might be something that they look at going forward.
Absolutely. It's truly amazing how you can set a course up in two different ways with the green speeds and the tee decks you use on those par threes, getting different angles. Set the course up completely different on 2 different weeks.
Yeah, they always change the holes on the greens, but they put it in some really tough positions. And, you can look at a green. A guy like the skill of Jack Nicklaus can look at a green and realize where's going to be the easiest spot and where's going to be the hardest spot and where's going to be mid-range to that, and just change the the outcome every day. It's really unique about golf, and I don't think a lot of people that aren't huge golf fans realize that they can change a course this dramatically, and we haven't seen it on the PGA Tour. As I said, they haven't had back weeks to be able to show this example, but it's pretty neat. It was pretty cool. I like that aspect of it a lot.
Yeah, for sure. You can open up a lot of different pin positions too with those different green speeds. When that's running 11, you can put it certain locations, but if that's running 13 or 14, there's no way you can put it in certain slopes.
Yeah. Ryan Palmer had a great tournament. He kept in second place. There was a lot of guys nipping at his heels, and he was getting some bogeys, but he played quite solid and was able to get a 2 over, 3 shots back of Rahm, but he was able to hold off everybody else. A very impressive tournament from him. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, he played really well. He had a bit of a shaky round on Saturday there with the 73, but the 74 on Sunday, that was like shooting 2 under pretty much.
Yeah. We saw Jason Day, the Ohio native. This is one of his home courses, and he played really well. He burned a lot of edges, and he could have shot a lot better, but he ended up tied for 4th at 4 under. Nice to see him. He was definitely feeling a bad back, though. You could see the way he was bending down to try to get the ball out of the hole. Hopefully he can get that addressed soon.
Yeah, he's struggled over the years with his back injuries for sure. Definitely gingerly picking up that ball from the hole, but didn't seem to stop him from going at some of those shots. He was swinging at it pretty hard on a lot of swings. So hopefully it's just a minor tweak and he can get back and start rolling that ball really good.
And our Canadian guy, Mackenzie Hughes, another great showing, tied for 6th, shot 3 under, ended up getting 3 birdies, 3 bogeys on the final day, and ended up even par, 285, 6th place, -3. The Hamilton native is playing really good. He missed 9 out of his first 11 tournaments when he made the PGA Tour, but lately he's been really solid.
Yeah, absolutely. He I don't know if you saw in 15 there on the last day, he had an awkward shot out of the hazard there. He was just standing very close to the bridge and hacked it out, got it in the bunker, and ended up making a par, which was a nice solid save. It's those little things through the round that can definitely keep you going. One little miscue on a Nicklaus course, one little bounce, and next thing you know, your birdie or par has gone to a double or plus. So nice to see him scrambling around very well.
Yeah. I think he got about a 65 footer for a birdie on 12, and it was just a hell of a bomb. And he just you just got to scramble. Even when you take your lumps with bogeys, he was able to bounce back and get some birdies. And yeah, I think the future's super bright for the kid. And yeah, it's nice to see another Canadian up in the top 10. Tony Finau had a really tough day. He went in, he was 8 under to start the day and ended up shooting 6 over and ended up falling into 8th place. Yeah, poor guy. You did have him in the first round leading though, and tell the viewers about that bet that you put down on him.
Yeah, early round, he played well in that little exhibition there, so I thought he looked very well going in, and yeah, he won. He was leader after first round, and that came in. It was 55-1, so that was a good get. Didn't think he was going to keep it together after. That's a tough tournament to lead from start to finish, especially with those weather conditions. Sunday looking like it was going to be the same as Thursday. He put on a good tournament. It's hard to be up there for 4 straight days with all that pressure.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it was great because we had talked at the end of last call, and we had said that I said, hey, watch out for this Tony Finau. He shot a 59 in practice, and he was shooting up to about a 209 miles an hour shot. They showed it on the thing, I think 206, but I think he shot more than that. And and so I was really happy you put some money down on him. I should have done the same thing. I was really got 55-1. That's a really big get to start the weekend for you.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see that on there. For first round leader, 55-1. I bet it each way, and so that's quarter odds for 1st through 5th place if you finish first through 5th. So I thought it was a pretty safe bet, and you just never know, right? But yeah, he was hitting that ball so well, just rolling it really well as well.
Did you have any money on Rahm?
I didn't have any money. For me, the odds weren't quite there to put it on, but I did get a little bit on Fitzpatrick. Like you had mentioned, he got bones on the bag. He's been playing really well, and he likes those conditions. Like he's from England. They're used to playing in those bit of a gustier, stormier conditions. So it's a delicate balance being able to play those kind of conditions on a Nicklaus course. It's not exactly a links style, but Fitzpatrick put together a great round. Nice,
good for you. Yeah, both Matt Wallace and Fitzpatrick, both from Sheffield, England, both had a really good showing. I think you're right. I think they're used to playing in blustery conditions and lots of really deep rough, and the Muirfield Village can resemble that at times, and both of them ended up finishing top 4. So yeah, really good to see those guys play really well. Obviously it was a return to Tiger, and he just didn't quite have it. He was rusty, and I had worried about that. I had really big concerns that this is too long of a layoff, and he really wasn't sharp. What were your thoughts of watching him through the weekend?
Yeah, he looked very frustrated there, especially come Sunday, but he played well, and it is Tiger Woods at the end of the day. You never know, something could click, but like you said, a bit of rust, just not being able to play competitively that much, it definitely showed.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, let's see. Let's get into a little bit more of the guys. Patrick Reed, 10th place. Xander Schauffele, you said he was the only other guy under par. He ended up leaping up to 13th. Jordan Spieth was also tied with him at 13. Brendan Steele was there. Justin Thomas, 18th. Corey Connors was tied for 22nd with a +3. Great showing for Corey. Matthew Wolff, +3, 22nd. Gary Woodland, a lot of guys in that group. About 7, 8, 10 golfers in that tied for 22nd. Rory Mcilroy tied for 32nd. If Rory would have been able to finish second place, he wouldn't have given up that number 1 position. I had talked about it earlier in the week. There was about 4 or 5 guys that had an opportunity to pass him number 1, and Rory's obviously number 2 in the world. But it must have been kind of a bummer for him to hand over that reign.
Yeah, absolutely. A little shuffle at the top. He'll be burning and itching to get back out of here the next week. So it's definitely going to spur him on.
So when do you think we're going to see Tiger again? Do you think he's going to tee it up pretty soon?
I don't know. I think he may take a little bit of time off, but it's hard to say. He'll be absolutely gunning for the majors, as Tiger does. He likes to focus on the big tournaments, and not sure where he's at with his game. He just didn't seem quite sharp, and something seemed to probably was bothering him. Maybe whether that be in his private life or what. But it was great to see him out there. He had great grit and determination playing through, and it's great to see him back.
Yeah, I was happy he was back. Well, he just barely made the cut on the number. Earlier in the coverage, they said, +2s and less are going to make the cut, and he finished +3. Him and Koepka were on the same pairing, and all of a sudden, the cut changed to +3, and he made the weekend. And it's always a lot better when Tiger's in the tournament and be able to play all 4 days. Even though he was rusty and didn't quite have it, still phenomenal to watch a lot of his shots. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of players had a rough day. Koepka on Sunday had an 80, which was a little – he was not quite having a lot going on there. Danny Willett as well, 82. I had a bit of money on him. Would have been nice to see him finish strong there, but again, another English player. I thought he may have been playing a bit better in the wind, but the Nicklaus course bit him.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, and Phil Mickelson, did you see those crazy putts that he was making from 70 yards out? He was trying to put it onto the green. It was kind of bizarre. I guess he wasn't in contention, but it's strange to see a professional player putting it from that far out.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. He's thinking he was at the Open Championship. I know it was supposed to be that weekend, but I don't know. He's just trying something different, maybe.
Dustin Johnson, 280s Thursday, Friday. What happened there with him?
Jeez, I don't know. It didn't seem to have anything going. I don't know. It's amazing how that game can just go from being so good to so bad. Just something was off with his timing there. He just couldn't find anything.
Yeah, he finished tied for second worst in the whole field. So that was pretty shocking. I didn't expect that. I thought he would have a really good showing, and it's strange. It's so bizarre how tough of a game it is. Another guy, Webb Simpson, didn't make the cut. Vaughn Taylor, we got Nick Taylor didn't make the cut. Just on and on and on. A lot of guys.
Yeah, Ricky Fowler was a shocker to me. Shot open with an 81 and then shot 68.
Amazing, hey? Holy cow! +5, just couldn't. Yeah, just missed it. And Daniel Berger missing it after winning earlier. And but yeah, look at the scores of the guys that did make the cut. +18. +16, +14, 13. Lots of guys at 13. Unbelievable how tough that course looked, and the conditions were getting pretty rough. And I was thoroughly entertained, but it was so bizarre how a tournament can change from week to week like that, and all of a sudden these guys just can't get birdies anymore. They're getting bogeys or pars, and even seeing doubles and triples, and wow, it was an amazing test of golf.
Yeah, it was so strange to see like how well someone would play in those tough conditions on Thursday, then shoot so poorly on Friday or Saturday, and then shoot good again on Sunday, or vice versa. It was just kind of all over. Nothing seemed to get going, just showing how tough those greens were.
Yeah. The only other aspect I forgot to mention was John Rahm and Ryan Palmer actually were teammates in a tournament that they played for. They played in 2017, and they ended up winning the tournament. So it must have been kind of cool for them being teammates before and then battling against each other on Sunday.
Yeah, a little bit of familiarity. That's nice to have it there. Again, so different without the crowds, like making those big shots and just very little noise out there. John Rahm gave him that good scream after he chipped in on 16, and I don't know, it's not quite JT come on now, but no, it was good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was funny. That's a good point. He did yell, and you catch those yells even just so much stronger because the boom mics are just pointed right at them. They got no ambient noise, no crowd noise around them. And yeah, Justin Thomas will probably never be beat from that yell. But yeah, it was an incredible chip that he made, and he was having struggles. You know, he needed to right the ship right then and there. And even though that didn't determine the outcome, if he would have got, you know, if he would have, you know, not been able to get that up and down there, you know, there definitely could have been a lot more pressure on him, and he might not have been able to pull it off. So it was a huge win. It was a huge chip.
Absolutely. Good thing they didn't tell him to the end of it. It would have been a different story on 17T if you were assessed that penalty right away. But yeah, phenomenal chip. Like where you have to land that just over the thick stuff, just to trickle it in is just spectacular to lie like that.
Yeah, I saw his the shock on his face when Amanda told him in the coverage that they were you know, they were thinking of talking to him about this possibility of him moving the ball and getting a stroke penalty. He was shocked, and it must have been hard for her to have to ask that question too, because this is a guy that's celebrating a win, and then she has to inform him that there might be a penalty. I'm glad, you know, he didn't even have to consider, oh well, I'm going to win no matter what, even if, you know, even if they assess the penalty. But yeah, tough on both of them having to, you know, discuss it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially just stepping off the green and after the fist bump, there you go. Here's the reality here. Yeah, handled very well. Obviously, it didn't matter, so it's as easy. That takes the sting out of it right away.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see where John Rahm plays next. See if he can keep that number one position and fend off all these other guys. It's really close. If you look at the top 5 guys, I think even the top 7 guys, wow, the points is super close. He did move up to 8th in the FedEx Cup standings. He got 500 FedEx Cup for that. And over the next few weeks, guys are really going to have to scramble. They need to make it into the playoffs here for the big money. And I think a lot of guys that aren't normally teeing it up will be teeing it up, so they have an opportunity at that playoffs. And but Rahm solidified himself into the top 10. And yeah, number 1 overall. That's number 1 in the world is a huge accomplishment. There haven't been that many guys in history to hold that position. And good on him. You know, only the second Spaniard ever, Seve Ballesteros, was his hero. And to be able to call that when he was 13, 14 years old and reach that, I think it's going to hit him soon, and he's going to realize, holy cow, this is I've actually done it.
Yeah, he was saying that it takes a little bit for it to set in for sure, and I'm sure today and tomorrow, as he kind of reflects on it and moving forward, it'll really set in. But he's worked very hard and just great determination playing through all that, and he's got a lot of stuff going in the personal life going on that he was sharing at the end of that tournament with his grandma dying and just the struggles they have with the travel and the COVID, that you don't really know about what's going on with these guys, and just to hold that all in and then be able to perform at the top level is just very impressive to see.
Yeah, really good point. Yeah, he said he lost his grandma to COVID, and he felt sad because he couldn't be there for the funeral, and they put her ashes next to her family in the burial gardens, and yeah, it had been a tough time for their family, obviously, and tough time for all of us. But you know, to lose family members and to have to continue on with your job and try to play at an elite level and get this victory, it was important to him, and yeah, I'm glad he could put the tough times aside and reach his lifelong goal. And I'm really happy for the guy. He seems like a good guy. He definitely gets feisty on the course, but I think that's just his competitive fire and competitive spirit, and it's one of the reasons why he's obtained the ranking and high level that he's been able to get to. So yeah, I'm a fan of John Rahm. A great game, amazing player.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't argue with results for sure. He can definitely get heated, but he can put that pedal down and make those shots when it counts.
Yeah. So that was an incredibly fun tournament. I'm really glad that we had a preview for it, and then we get to break it down today. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad that I'm glad that John did it. I had said that there was a number 1 on the line, Rory, you better look out. And yeah, it came to fruition. There was a bunch of guys that had that opportunity, and he's the only one that seized it. So congratulations, John Rahm. And yeah, let's see if he can keep the all the other guys that are hungry to get that position off his tail, and yeah, keep that number one position for a while. Yeah, any other comments that you want to make Memorial before we start talking about next week?
Oh no, the Memorial was a great tournament again, and really looking forward to next year with these changes Jack's going to make. It's going to make for a very interesting test. He was trying to set it up more for the members now, and then still being able to allow for the tournament play to be able to really challenge these top professionals.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so a fantastic tournament as always. The Memorial is one of my favorites. Love Jack Nicklaus, always have. I had an opportunity to meet him on a few occasions, and class guy, one of the icons and legends of golf, and it's so great that he was able to go in there, purchase that land, design that course, and it's one of the best tournaments of the year, and I'm glad it didn't get canceled like many tournaments did over this COVID-19, and yeah, I'm glad to hear that even though he got COVID-19, he's recovered and doing really well. And yeah, fantastic, fun tournament, really great. I want to talk about 3M Championship in a minute, but I want to ask you, have you had an opportunity to see this thing that they're putting on the Golf Channel? It's called the Open for the Ages, and they have golfers from all different eras all playing in this one Open Championship as sort of a fantasy golf tournament. You seen any of that coverage yet?
No, I didn't get to look too much. I heard of it, but I didn't get to look too much into it. But it sounds like a very exciting event.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's currently on the Golf Channel. I do have a snapshot of the leaderboard that they have right now, and man, it's a dream tournament. Wish it could happen. Maybe it's happening in an alternate reality, but this is really fun. Like, listen to the top guys, the top 10 of the tournament right now. Tom Watson sitting at -13. Nick Faldo -12, Tiger Woods 12, Nicklaus 12 under, Jordan Spieth sitting in 5th position, tied with John Daly and Seve Ballesteros at -11, Louis Oosthuizen at -10, Zach Johnson at -8, and the 10th place is Ernie Els at 6 under. So pretty cool that they can combine guys on some of the tournaments that they've played opposite years and had them facing each other. And yeah, they have these matches that they go against each other, and oh man, just watch it. If you're a golf fan and you always want to compare guys to other guys and stuff, this is the ultimate. Really super fun.
Yeah, definitely. I'll check that out. It's always interesting and hard to compare from different eras and set them up. It'd be interesting to see how different people will play against each other for sure.
Yeah, great to see John Daly out there and Tom Watson, phenomenal champion of this tournament, and he almost won one late in his 50s, and yeah, just really cool, really neat concept, and I'm glad they put it together. Yeah, so now we switch to the 3M Open in Minnesota coming up this weekend. Matthew Wolff is the defending champion. He shot a course record 263 there, which was 16 shots better than John Rahm this shot over the 4 days here at this Memorial. So there'll be a birdie shootout there. Some really good talent. Rahm's supposed to tee it up. I hope he doesn't withdraw. DJ, Koepka, Finau, Fleetwood, Paul Casey, Harris English. Yeah, quite a deep field for the course. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And any thoughts there?
Yeah, DJ would definitely be looking for some redemption. Get some birdie shoot out there. I was looking, the weather looks pretty good. Again, almost similar to what it was this week, where you got Thursday looking a little bit dicey, Friday, Saturday looking good, and Sunday kind of coming back stormy again. It's that the time of year where you're going to get that hot heat and you're going to get those thunderstorms roll through. So that can definitely put the challenge on those swirling winds and those big trees. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I think it's about maybe 4 of the past 5 tournaments, or 3 of the past 4 anyway, where they had weather delay on Sunday. And I was super happy that I had put my PVR to, record hours after, because it's crazy how often it's been happening. You're right. This must be this time of year, and they're getting these lightning storms, these thunderstorms, and they're having 1 hour, 2 hour delays. And it's added a huge component to these tournaments that a lot of people, don't realize how tough it must be. You're playing, you're under the pressure, and all of a sudden you got to go and sit and wait and then go back at it. It's been crazy. It's happened so often lately.
Yeah, it's tough. You're watching some of that coverage, the pins just whipping and bending right over, and then the next shot they've had the delay, and the water's just a sheet of glass. There's not a breath of wind. Timing's everything in golf. With that, you catch the weather right, and you can post a low score, or you struggle and you shoot an even par, and it may as well have been a 65. So it's always a challenge.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, golf with the 4 days and elements definitely adds so much to the game. And a lot of people always criticize cricket, and they said, oh, it's 4 days, I can't concentrate for 4 days. Well, we concentrate for 4 days following golf, and it's adds some of the best drama, the best TV moments that I've ever had. And I'm really happy that we get to watch these tournaments, enjoy them, and then break them down like this, Casey. Always a lot of fun. Anything you want to add to this weekend's coverage?
No, just another amazing tournament. Glad it all went off without a hitch with the weather delays, and Jack and Barbara were healthy again. And Jack just doing those tweaks again. So it's going to be another challenge coming up 2021 at Memorial.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, ripping the turf out of 6 before they've even finished the hole was hilarious. I was thinking about some of my family Christmases where they're taking down the tree before Christmas Day's even over. I'm just like, holy cow, what's going on here? This is hilarious. Yeah, but 80 years old, he doesn't seem 80. He sure seems with it, and already know that he wants to change the course and tweak it. It was funny. It was a neat end to that day.
Yeah, and it's great to see him and Barbara being able to just go around the course without the fans. Like, they can get so much closer and get that better feel for the course as the players are playing it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, as usual, Casey, really great breakdown. Thanks so much. Always a pleasure. I hear you haven't played golf this week, but I hope you can. Last week, but I hope you can get at it this week, and hopefully you get that sailboat going really soon. And we'll have an opportunity to talk to you through the week. Maybe we'll do a breakdown Wednesday if we both have some time, and looking forward to the 3M. Thanks again. Yeah, really appreciate this always.
Yeah, awesome, Darren. Yeah, thanks for having me. Take care. Okay,
you too. All the best. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, wow, that was great. Fun Memorial Tournament. And just always amazing. Jack Nicklaus, such an ambassador of golf, such a legend. And he joins the guys in the booth and talks about the things about the tournament and things about some of the golfers, and talks about tweaks that he needs to make. And then this announcement that he had COVID, him and Barbara both. And wow, I'm so happy that they came through with flying colors, and their health is great. And many more years to come. And I'm sure it'll be really exciting to see the Memorial, how they've changed it back-to-back weeks. What a host, what a great course. And that was a lot of fun. Let's look forward to Minnesota starting on Thursday. I'm sure there'll be lots of stuff to talk about on Wednesday. We put together a preview. And thanks, Casey, for joining me. Thank you to all the viewers and listeners. Appreciate you joining Complete Sports Media and listening to the breakdowns. Love you lots. Take care. Enjoy your week. We'll talk very soon. Take care. Bye for now.